Howdy guys, how's it going? So we are out here today right before some rain and thunderstorms are supposed to hit. I'm going to be trying out a new piece of gear. I have got a Hennessy Jungle Expedition hammock in here. I think that's the full title. Luckily it didn't sprinkle any on the way in, so I didn't have to put on my rain jacket, which I'm really glad about because it is hot and humid. But yeah, today's out is mainly about testing that and a new table for the first time. So we'll get a good bit of our stuff unpacked. But first thing that I want to get up is the hammock. So yeah, it's the Hennessy Jungle Hammock Jungle Expedition Asymmetric Zip. I knew I was missing something in that description, but if you just watched the past kit loadout video that I did with an LBE like padded belt and the Hidden Woodsman Model 23 pack, this is in that, and I wanted to bring this out just with more of a standard, with a standard loadout, and just see how it performed, and hopefully we do get some rain once I get this set up. And so now with this is the hammock and the tarp, and it's in woodland. The woodland could be a limited run type of thing, I'm not sure, but it looks phenomenal. And I've got this stored because I've just set this up in my backyard. I've not slept in it yet. But I've got it in their XL snakeskin, so it's really going to be kind of hard to show this up close. But this right here meets in the middle. We got one on both sides, and essentially all we should have to do is just kind of slide this off of itself, and the hammock's pretty much set up. But they have a pretty unique system, at least one I've not used yet. So the hammock itself has this heavy duty cordage, and then they supply you with these two straps to go around the tree to help protect them. So it's just going to take me 1 second to figure out the best way to go about wrapping these. First, just kind of lay this out so I can see the lengths of my rope. Here is the beauty, or how the snake skin is supposed to work, is now we just push this to our ends. And because of the way that I've got the tarp set up along the ridge line, it's pretty much together. So if it was pouring down the rain right now, which I knew that it could potentially have been, our hammock would still be nice and dry. So we'll have to play around with this a little bit with the tightness and then where we got this placed. But oh yeah, okay, and one thing to note too, I should have checked this, which is kind of hard to check this in the snake skin, but this does have one side that zips, and that's the side that you're going to want facing whichever way you're going to be. It's easiest to get in and out, which is this side. So I'm going to untie this, just flip her around, and yeah. Okay, so got this kind of where I want it. We haven't set in it yet, but this is how the tarp is already attached to the hammock's line, so we can just slide that along, and that is a tension knot. And then we can just make our tarp nice and taut by sliding these up and down, and just like that you can see our tarp ridge line is where we want it. One cool thing about this tarp is at the corners it has cordage already attached in these tiny pockets that you can store it in, and because I just jammed it in there, it's not wanting to come out very easily. You got a good decent bit of cordage. Not sure what pound test. That's a little loop that I tied into it whenever I was testing this out in the backyard. I'm going to see if there's any trees within this length that I can tie off to. Yeah, and I brought my 6 AM outdoor smaller tarp with me so that we could have more area, but after having this set up, this porch area, the way I got stretched out, is plenty to sit underneath. So there is like a way you're supposed to lay in it. This lower side that pulls down should be where your foot is, and then your head will go up towards that way. And the way that you lay in this, it's a pretty lay flat design. You already kind of have yourself a chair. So we're a good, I'd say 6 to 8 inches from our lowest point right there at our butt, somewhere around 6 inches. And yeah, so this will probably stretch out a little bit more since I've not really used this hammock much. So I can adjust that later on too. But yeah, you zip it up and then you get more of this like flat lay. If somebody likes to sleep kind of more propped up or laid down, just adjusting where you're at in the hammock is kind of how you can remedy that quickly and easily. But then you can also adjust your hanging points as well. Yeah, let's go back and because I had to kind of loosen the tarp a bit too when I was adjusting this, so not bad. And I got something really cool that I've been testing out around the house and at the gear shed, and that is this ultralight table. Now, it is kind of large for backpacking purposes with these legs and rods, but this thing does do, it has a lot of different configurations. We'll get these out. You don't even really need all these for the setup that I'm going to be going with. Unzip this, and this case is slightly padded, and just having a case is nice in the event you got food and grit and grime on this. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Here at the base we screw 3 legs in. Now the one with the hook that goes up top, but then all of these are pretty much the same. So we'll just start screwing those up into here. Oh, and then just like that we got a table. And I believe they are still a few, about a week left whenever this drops of this company's Kickstarter campaign. So I'll make sure to link to that down in the description. But right there is the name. And so this is where our stove is going to come up through, and that's another unique thing about this. And then for our lamp holder, which is this rod right here, this hook, you could hang whatever you wanted to. You could have it off to the side with something, but you also got hooks underneath the table. But we just screw this off. We stick it up through this hole. Screw down the rod. Lamp holder. Nice. And yeah, I'll put up a picture of all the different things. Like this thing has a little firebox that you can make this into a tripod, hang it from. You can make this into a camera tripod. You can make it into, you can use it as a pot hanger to hang a pot over the fire. Just lots of versatile uses. And I hope this company seems like one of those that's going to be coming out with a myriad of different, multifunctional and utilitarian type things like this. And this thing is genuinely very lightweight. Just get that. This ain't that important right now. And yeah, so we really don't even need these two for this setup. If you want this table to be even higher, we could take this off, take the nut off. I believe that would work. Because I think this, yeah, that screws off as well. So yeah, you could take and have this be 2 extra legs taller. But having a chair at this height, it's made for this type of thing. So just leave that out. Okay, now one really cool thing about this hammock that I really like about it when I went with this model is it does have 2 layers on the bottom. So you can put a sleeping mat in between there, and instead of having it inside and you rolling around all over the place, if it's inflatable, it'll keep it in place. And I also got their reflective pad that's designed to go with this type of hammock. But it's only going to be getting down to like 66 degrees tonight, so don't really need anything under me, but I did want to bring out this. So I just recently got, this is a German Army sleeping mat. This is like their ISO mat. I got that and these British warm weather pants from Go Army UK. Just thought that would be some cool new stuff to try out. But I got it. This is the thinnest, and I mean the thinnest ISO mat I have ever seen. I don't see this really giving you much of any insulation. I mean, better than nothing if you was on the ground. And waterproof barrier. And I guess it would help keep some minor things like the edges of sticks and some not super aggressive briars from poking through. And it's also really not that wide. But I thought, even though we don't really need much of anything in the hammock, this would be pretty cool to try since it has this center fold that could kind of go with the lay of it. But then again, it might not work at all. I'm not going to put this in between the layers just because there's really no need to, I don't think. This should, once we get it in here. I don't think this is going to move around much. Yeah, so as you can see, that's in there that way, and I'm going to lay on it real quick because that looks pretty comfortable. And if the material was to stretch even more after, prolonged hours of laying in it through the night, and was to see, come all the way down, it shouldn't stretch that much, then this would kind of give us a little bit of protection from the ground, but not worried about that at all. And where this mat's really thin, it's kind of easy to maneuver. Oh yeah, and see, I'm almost completely laid flat in here now. It's got a nice little slidable storage sleeve up here. Put your phone and glasses and stuff in. So I just have to make sure that zipper down there is further up this way. But But yeah, like with this ISO mat, I'd already packed my bag, and then I seen it, and I was like, well, I'm gonna see if I can squeeze it down behind everything that is already in my pack. And you do have these shock cords where you can tie out these bottom ends to open the hammock up more. If I was going to be having this set up for, you know, at least 2 nights or something, I would do that. But for an overnighter, I'm not going to fool with it. Cool. Our caffeinated beverage. Then we got a ranch fuel blueberry pomegranate. I have had this one already, and it tastes phenomenal. That's why it's nice to have a table. Alrighty, well, the rain just has started. It's pretty light right now, so it's not even breaking through the tree canopy quite yet, other than just a few drops here or there. And we're underneath this mountain magnolia tree, so it provides a lot of rain cover. It's got probably the biggest leaves out of a tree that's, you know, native to my part of the eastern woodlands. Yeah, so like we didn't get a lot of rain, precipitation, so this camp isn't really a good test for the rain fly in the hammock or the weatherproofness, but as far as comfort and all that stuff, it's still good. It's a good fit. I took and made a chicken can something or other. That worked out good. I got a couple of flying insects in it, some mosquito, I think one mosquito and then one flying insect. I didn't know what it was. The chair, the table, all that stuff worked out good. I am going to take and just leave my shoes on. Just going to kick those up in here. You can see this hammock is pretty much something I did before I turned this on. There's really no way you can flip out of this hammock unless you just want to, from what I can tell. So I'm going to zip up in this, and I will talk to y'all in the morning. I really appreciate y'all hanging out until this point. And yeah, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Oh yeah, well, that right there was hands down an amazing night's sleep. I'm still feeling half past groggy because, yeah, I mean, just lulled away like a baby. I'm glad I brought this really thin German surplus ISO mat. I will link this down in the description because, like, just having it around, I've thought of probably 10 to 20 different uses for it already. But yeah, I am just very, hair in my mouth, I am very disappointed we didn't get more rain because that was the thing I was hoping to test out the most. At night, we did ended up getting some decent wind gusts coming through, but nothing too crazy. But that was just a little bit of a test on how well those pre-tied out tie points would hold up, and everything's fine. Everything's still stuck in the ground, and yeah, I don't think like no issues with the hammock itself. I'm looking forward to using this in some colder conditions so that we can slider pad in between the 2 layers of fabric on the bottom. But yeah, we are still off the ground this morning after all of the stretching. Our German mat helped kind of hold the the shape that we needed. And yeah, so all in all, I'm very pleased. This hammock, along with the other like traditional looking hammock that also has kind of a lay flat design. Those are going to be the ones that I probably end up using the most, especially if we're doing kayaking and everything. And plan on doing some kayaking very, very soon. Hopefully some kayak camping. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one. So as always, thanks for taking time to watch the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you have not already. Share the channel with your friends, family, anybody enjoys good old outdoor activities and gear. Yeah, hit me up in that comment section. Let me know what you're feeling. And until the next one, guys, adios.